Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. Always a joy to welcome Michelle Byers. She is with Share the Warmth, a family Christmas Eve. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
This is coming up.
This is coming up. It's coming up faster than I want it to come up.
I know. Here we are in December, and I can't even believe we're saying that, but we are. Here it is.
I know. Thanksgiving it's over.
I know. Came and went.
I know.
My goodness.
I'm full still.
Well, it is always a pleasure to talk with you about the whole story of Share the Warmth, the family Christmas Eve. For some who might be new in town, take us back to where you got this idea. You're just a person who got an amazing idea. Tell us about it.
You know, I was sitting in my kitchen and I was thinking, you know, how many people are alone around the holidays? And the reason that I was thinking that is because it was 10 years ago that I was alone for the holidays. Not Christmas, because I ended up being able to go home to New Jersey. But for Thanksgiving, I was homeless because I had an alcohol and cocaine problem. The cocaine wasn't as much as the alcohol because that's a little more expensive. But because of that, I had 3 DUIs and I was going to go to jail. I lost my house. I was evicted. There's just a lot that was going on at the time. So I put all my stuff into storage, and my kids went to New Jersey and lived with my sister, and I had, I was homeless, so I had nowhere to go on Thanksgiving. I couldn't go home. So I'm sitting in this one room of mine by myself, and when I say one room, thankfully a friend of mine that I met through you owned or had this place, an empty house that she used to house girls that came out of foster care. It was called Pal Mission. And she didn't have funding for the house, and so it was empty. So she allowed me to stay there, which is called transitional housing, which, I was part of the count for the homeless. And so that was pretty lonely, just being there by myself. So I'm sitting in my kitchen. Now I have my own place. At that time. This is its 5th year, so we're going, back about 5 years. And I'm thinking, I have all this food.
Yeah.
How many people are home and they're by themselves? So, I put it out on Facebook. Who has nowhere to go? You can come over to my house. And then, only one person answered. But then I said, you know what? I want to do this for Christmas.
Wow.
So I called up my friend and I said, hey, I want to do a Christmas dinner. And my friend said, well, I do a clothing distribution on Christmas Eve, and let's get together. And so I put it out on Facebook that I needed food, and everybody came together. And in just, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Amazing.
I fed, with the help of just donations, 200 people in the parking lot of Stark County Library on Market.
And now what we need to say is that was the Christmas, that Christmas Eve day was like, what, 70 degrees?
It was. It was like
crazy.
And that's because God was with us.
Yes.
Perfect
day.
He had his hand in that. I mean, come on, who could pull a dinner together for 200 people? We had more food than we needed. The volunteers came out in droves, and we had so much food left over that we brought it to the Refuge of Hope, which is a homeless shelter for men. And so they had a ton of food to eat, and even some of the volunteers brought food home. I know I brought a tray of turkey home so I didn't have to cook dinner the next day because I was exhausted. So,
amazing. And that was 10 years ago.
That I was.
Is that when 5 years ago you had this first one?
Yes.
When was this first one?
The first one was this 5 years ago because we're in our it's in our
5th year.
5th year this year.
So a lot of transition has happened.
Oh, yeah.
You have merged with Salvation Army to be able to. How did that happen, Michelle?
Well, that happened because of Gary. Gary, he was talking to the Salvation Army, to Major Tom, about something else, and he had told them about this event. And so they were interested, and they wanted to partner. And
I think what's so funny is that you came up with the name Share the Warmth, and they had a campaign,
Right.
Share the Warmth. So it was like a perfect little marriage there.
it's a perfect marriage.
Two events.
Just because of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They serve the same population that I serve. And, they have the same mission. I mean, I don't want anybody to be alone on the holidays. That is such an awful feeling.
Yes.
I mean, I want everyone to think about it for one moment. Close your eyes and picture Christmas with no family, no friends, no nothing, not even a roof over your head, absolutely no food. You have nothing and no way to get anything because there's no churches serving
on
that day.
Christmas Eve day. Refuge of Hope continues to serve every day. They don't take off for holidays. And you and Salvation Army continues to have this. It was a perfect combination. So a family Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve day, isn't it? People can't
Yes.
say, my goodness, we can't do anything Christmas Eve because it's Christmas Eve. We've got all our Christmas Eve stuff.
Yep.
This is day. What time do you
It's
do it?
12 to 3. And, it's real easy. You can sign up through our website, which is sharethewarmthstark.org. And you just go to it's right on the front page. Gary has made this so easy for everybody. And when you sign up, you can sign up to what area you'd like to go. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get to go to that area. And then you could also sign up to bring a dish, a side dish, which we so desperately need. Mashed potatoes and stuffing and gravy. We pretty much limited it to those items so that we don't have some macaroni and some of this and some of that, because then everybody wants more and we don't have any more. So if we have a lot of mashed potatoes and stuffing and those type of things, that would be greatly appreciated. And gravy's usually one of the things we don't have either.
Oh, that's a good thought. Who
Yeah.
thinks of that? Make a boatload of gravy and bring that on
Yeah.
down to you.
Yeah, just don't bring anything in something that needs to be returned because
Right.
it's not going to get returned.
Right, right.
So even cranberry sauce.
Yes. So that's what you're asking for, the basics.
Yes.
Now, I know you've done ham in the past.
We have done ham in the past, and we don't get too many hams. The community harvest, God love faith.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
get 25 turkeys from them every single year.
It's awesome.
And we just don't have that. Now, the first year we had hams and turkey. So everyone got used to the hams, and every single year they're
you get
asking us for hams.
You get requests, yeah.
Yes. And this year it's caught on because I work for ICANN Housing, and which, we provide housing for homeless. Now, obviously, we can't provide enough. There's probably never, ever, ever going to be enough. There's more homeless than there is housing. And so we have a drop-in center where they can come in and they can get warm and have coffee or water. And sometimes we will have some food. And they're looking for the flyers already. I've had those flyers out for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And soon I will have bus tickets out there. I just don't want to put them out too early. SARTA, another great partner. SARTA gives free bus rides to and from the event that day, from wherever they're at. There's a bus line that goes to the Salvation Army, and then they'll take them home.
For free.
For
Free bus
free.
passes. Look how this has come. Michelle, I've just got to take you back. Look at what God has done. First of all, I don't want to...
Don't make me cry.
I don't want to skim over the fact that you just said, I work for ICANN Housing. Take where you were 10 years ago and what you do now.
February
Do you see
1st.
God's hand in this?
February 1st, I will be sober 10 years.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. That's beautiful.
And I'm trying to have a 10-year birthday party, but and I was going to have it at the Salvation Army, but I just don't have the money for the food.
We'll think of something.
Judge Forshoni, he plans on paying for a cake that Sarah Alton from Serendipity Cakes, who makes the most gorgeous cakes ever, she's going to make.
Oh, a happy birthday.
Oh, it's good. I think I just, it's hard to believe. First of all, it's hard to believe I even got addicted to alcohol.
Now, looking back.
Well, yeah, because I didn't start till I was 37, and I was a mom. I was married for 18 years. My kids called their life a white picket fence life. It was perfect for them. And then I messed everything up. And, and I ended up going to rehab and jail, and I was homeless, and they had to go live with my sister for a year in New Jersey. Their whole life was uprooted. I divorced their father. And my daughter, I have a great relationship now with her. It took a long time, but my son still has, I'll never have that relationship that I had with him, like I did when he was little.
Your story's not over.
No, it's not. And he said to me, he's engaged.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is. It's so funny. My daughter's name is Samantha, and it's Byer. And his fiance's name is Samantha.
Oh, how
so when they
funny.
get married, it'll be Samantha Byer. And her middle name is Michelle.
Oh, no. That didn't have anything with...
Right?
Why?
So there'll be two Samantha Byers in the
names
family.
all match. You must be the one.
But he said to me, he goes, Mom, I know you're going to make, and this sounds really awful to say, but he says, Mom, I know you're going to make a better grandmother than you were a mother. And that sounds really bad. But when you look at it from his perspective and what I, put him through in his eyes, when you look at it through my eyes, I don't see it. It was a 6-year downfall. For him, it was his whole life. To him, it was from 12 to 16, 18, 19, 20, whatever it was.
Let me just throw this encouragement out to you, though, because he is seeing you now living out an example of accepting full responsibility of the part you played in that. And he's seeing a 100% turnaround, a 180. So you are, yes, we're all human and we all make mistakes. He's seeing the example of a parent own up to a mistake and do something about it. And that also is being a great mother.
And, what I wish he'd really see is who put me here.
Jesus.
Yes.
He will. He'll see that. Because, there's no way any of us can do any of this.
My son does not believe. But I'm praying every day because God will get him there. God will get him there.
Give us his name one more time because I know a whole bunch of listeners right now that are putting him on their list.
Raymond Byer.
Got it.
Because I'll tell you what. Now, my daughter shocked me a little bit there because she doesn't really either. However, she's starting to come around. I pray for both of them.
Yes.
And she's starting to come around just a little bit. She's questioning things. She's got a friend talking to her, and she goes, Mom, my friend says the same thing you do. I'm like, oh, praise that friend.
Well, God is bigger than any of it, and we can certainly all be praying, and we will all be praying for your family, Michelle. Because
thank you.
You're investing so much of yourself in the lives of others, and I know that children are tops of the list for any of us.
Yes, I get to do so many wonderful things now. My church, I go to Faith Family, love Faith Family. That is just one awesome church. And I do their prison ministry.
Wow.
On Monday nights, I go to SRCCC. And for me, that is so awesome, and the girls love it. I was there. I was at Stark County. I was in SRCCC, but they know it. And they started, to them, I was there. I understand what they're going through, and then giving them Lynette's book, Lynette Appling, her A Kept Woman. They're just like all reading it, and they're reading it so fast, and they're passing it around.
It's wonderful.
Because that book is amazing. That book I read in jail, and that turned my life around. And that's where I got baptized, was jail.
You have such a good story. And, God is so good, isn't he? Oh, my goodness.
I
so
thank
good.
him every single morning. I get out of bed, get down on my knees, and just thank him. And I thank him for everything I have, everything I will have, and just everything I am, and everything I will, everyone, just for everything. And then I ask him every day for me to help somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're precious to him and you're precious to us, and we do need to take a short break. We're visiting with Michelle Beyer with Share the Warmth, the Family Christmas Eve. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.